Sporting Kansas City stay perfect. More magic from Thierry Henry and a historic win in Montreal next on The Daily. Hey everybody, happy Monday and welcome to another edition of The Daily here with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Nick Fershaw looking back at the weekend in MLS, and we're going to start with what was hyped as the biggest game of the season so far. It lived up in a way. Sporting Kansas City at home against the LA Galaxy. A 1-0 win for Sporting Kansas City out there at Livestrong Sporting Park. Still perfect, unbeaten this season, and a statement win for Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah, of course, the thing in this game was the fitness that Sporting Kansas City put on display. They really ran LA ragged, especially in the first half. Mike McGee saying, we couldn't even put 5 passes together, and a lot of that comes down to that pressure game, that 4-3-3 system that Sporting Kansas City likes to run. Another huge moment in this game, Kai Kamara getting his 3rd goal of the season, deft header at the far post. But what set that up was Bobby Convey switching to the right side from his normal left, and Kai Kamara being on the right where Sean Franklin wasn't able to track him. So a huge win for Sporting Kansas City, another big one at Livestrong Sporting Park next weekend against RSL.
And for the LA Galaxy, they played this one without David Beckham, unable to summon that offensive magic that they've had in the past. And for Sporting Kansas City now, 245 consecutive minutes without allowing a shot on goal. That's an MLS record. Well, Thierry Henry and the New York Red Bulls were back in action on Saturday. They were at the Columbus Crew, and Andrew, they made quick work of this one. Kenny Cooper with 2 goals in the first 15 minutes. This was a rout for Hans Backe.
Yeah, 3 goals in the first half, and Thierry Henry and Kenny Cooper a brace each, both of them atop the MLS scoring charts. After a slow start for New York where people were questioning things, and Thierry Henry was dropping back in the midfield, and everyone was wondering, where is this team actually going to go? They've shown some real class over the last 3 weeks, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Some struggles still defensively. Ryan Meir could not get his first shutout. Chad Marshall snatching that late goal, but these two have got to be favorites for the Golden Boot right now, and something to consider. Luke Rogers, that guy that everyone said, this is the guy that New York has to have to be successful this season. He had 9 goals last year. Kenny Cooper, 6 right now. So you have to see how that one shapes up and if they do actually go out and get another forward, but so far so good for New York.
And for Hans Backe, his first win in Columbus since he took over the head coach for the New York Red Bulls. And you mentioned Chad Marshall, a goal in his 200th start for the Columbus Crew, though not enough. A big loss to the New York Red Bulls. Well, Thierry Henry has some competition in the Golden Boot race. You mentioned Kenny Cooper. How about Chris Wondolowski, a guy we've seen over the past couple seasons here in MLS? 2 more goals on Saturday for the San Jose Earthquakes. They get a 3-1 win over the Vancouver Whitecaps. Didn't look great to start. The Whitecaps got out to an early goal from Sebastian Letou, but Chris Wondolowski able to get 2 more. A big win for the Quakes.
Yeah, Frank Yallop said he thought they were buried after that 1-0 start, especially the way Vancouver's been playing defense this season. As has been well documented, they had that shutout streak going, and they did set the record for shutout minutes to start a season, but as soon as they did so, 3 goals in 10 minutes for San Jose. You just cannot leave Chris Wondolowski unmarked in the box, as the Caps did on that 3rd goal especially. Big thing for San Jose, the substitutes made the difference. Alan Gordon comes in, beautiful flicked header to the back post. Tressor Moreno played a big role. An overall a solid game for San Jose. And we talked about Kansas City RSL. The other big game next weekend, New York San Jose. So those two scoring leaders are going to go head-to-head. A nice trio there of guys that put the ball in the back of the net.
And for the Earthquakes, the goal from Alan Gordon, really one of the best, certainly one of the best of the weekend, one of the better of the young season. You can find that on MLSsoccer.com. Well, last but certainly not least, a historic day up in Montreal on Saturday. The Impact get their first win as an MLS franchise, nonetheless, over a regional rival, Toronto FC. A big one for Montreal. We didn't know what was going to happen in this one, mainly because a short week for both of these teams. Toronto coming off CCL, and the Impact were on the road midweek at RSL, but the Impact get a historic win.
Yeah, a shining win for them, what they've been looking for from the very start of the season. Sinisa Ubiparapovic puts them ahead with a nice slotted finish, and Andrew Wenger finishes things off before Danny Kovermans gets a relay goal. But man, tough start for Toronto FC, still winless, still pointless, just a disastrous beginning to the season for them in the league side. On Montreal's side, though, they have to be very happy with this win, especially considering the fact that the season only gets tougher. A strange note with them, they actually lead the league in shots on goal, but they've only scored 5 times from that. So, they'll look to up that production and find guys that can put the ball in the back of the net. 2 guys here that maybe didn't play a role early in the season doing it. We'll see how that plays out as the season progresses.
And you mentioned Andrew Wenger, the rookie out of Duke. A little known fact about him, he's still in school at Duke. Yep. He's still got finals. He actually scored that goal on Saturday, got right back on a plane down there in North Carolina to take some tests, prepare for some final exams. Best of luck to him on his final exams. That does it for us. Want to mention the AT&T MLS Goal of the Week. You can find that on the site today, as well as Extra Time Radio, the latest edition of our podcast, comes out on Monday. Find that on iTunes and Buzzsprout. And for all the highlights from the weekend and all the results, log on to MLSsoccer.com.